It happened, everybody. It happened. So I don't blight the internet twice in a day. Y'all know this. Today I dropped my Ask of Our Cool video. It should be right, boom, here, coming up on the corner. And now we're talking about the rules. So this just came to my attention. I was scrolling through Facebook and utterly baffled when I saw the beauty of the turn phases. So let's talk a little bit about it. So the strategy phase, in there you're going to be taking things like stupidity check, I'm guessing more like animosity, and you're going to be throwing some spells up in there, right? Same thing with the movement phase. Now if you noticed, the magic phase is missing, and that's because they've incorporated the magic phase within these other phases. How do you feel about it? I personally don't mind. I think it's going to make us all relearn the game, which is going to be a bit more interesting than just coming in with all our previous knowledge for guys that were into this and just steamrolling newer players. And I love learning new systems. It's a lot of fun for me. It's a lot of fun seeing how they're put together. And mostly I'm a narrative player anyways. I'm going to make big 3,000 point armies and plan. So I don't really mind. So you're going to cast these spells. So movement phase, you still have the charge as the very first thing you do. So you're going to do your charges, you're going to do your compulsory moves, and then any movement spells, like they say below, Hand of Gork, will be allowed to be cast here. Very cool, very interesting. I think it's awesome. The shooting phase, I think it speaks for itself. You have your shooting attacks, you have your cannons, you have your stone throwers, you have the trebuchet from Bretonia if you're into that, and you should have the Screaming Skull catapult, fingers crossed, when the Tomb Kings drop. So that's cool. And you'll have your magical vortex spells like the Purple Sun of Xerxes, your magic missiles, I'm guessing like Fireball. You're going to be able to cast all that in the shooting phase, which is outstanding. And then you have the combat phase. This speaks for itself. Now, one thing they have noted is it says when units lose combat, they may be driven back or become broken and flee. Now, what I like about that is a lot of times you would have your big, glass cannon army go in, hit it with something, and then something would run, and then you'd either pursue it or it'd run off the table. Now, I like the fact that they're going to be going into something like attrition, like almost Total War. And I think it's going to be appealing to that community as well. Now, what are some things that I think might be interesting to see? I want to see how they're going to do the driven back part, I guess, in combat. And I want to see if it's going to be a little bit... I want to see if they're going to physically go back or if they're going to see like minuses to their leadership, minuses to their weapon skill. I'm really actually looking forward to it. So that's just me. So again, they talk about the strategy phase. We're looking at, stupidity, all that stuff taking... place in it. The Falcon Horde of Fredman, if it goes off, you take an unmodified leadership check. Enemy units cannot use fly that round. So, boo-hoo. Dejav's Incantation of Curse Blades. Now, I had to look it up. Boom! With my nifty book. It has changed. So, Dejav's Incantation of Curse Blades had a super spell, which went off, I believe, on 14. And then it had this one with the casting value 7. They don't talk about casting values, but I will. So before you had to roll in the magic phase, there was a phase, and you would roll 2d6, and you would take the 2 dice, and your opponent would get the amount of dice equal to the higher one. So say you rolled a 5 and a 2. You would get 7 power dice, your opponent would get 5. You would get a chance to channel the Winds of Magic on a 6, potentially going to 8. And then you would pick how many dice you threw to cast this spell. Now, I'm wondering if it's still going to be like that, or if you're just going to get X amount of casting dice per the wizard, or however the phase goes. But anyways, what you're going to want to get is you're going to want to get those dice to equal the casting value, and then I believe you'll be able to add your wizard level to it. You were in the previous edition, so if you rolled a 7 and your wizard level 2, you actually got a 9. So I believe that that's how it's going to be, and then for your opponent to dispel, they'll have to beat your casting value. So... the interesting thing is though with the Dejav's Incantation of Cursed Blades is right here we're getting reroll any rolls to hit of 1. So you're rerolling 1s. Before it gave you Killing Blow. So if you had it on a unit of Skeleton Chariots, they got Killing Blow 6 up, meaning you didn't get an armor save, you were just done. If you had a ward save you can take it, but done. And then if you cast it on a Necro Sphinx that had Heroic Killing Blow, which means giants are done, wyverns are done, big things are done. Now that went off on a roll of a 5 to wound. So very, very interesting. It makes me wonder what other fundamental things are going to change. And I have the 6th Ed book, but I haven't looked too into it to see what that was. I believe it wasn't even a spell back then. It was a augment. So be that as it may. Now we can come back here, check up on the old world, see what else they're going to drop out. I'm looking forward to seeing psychology. I want to see the morale. I want to see the magic stuff coming out. And I'm just really freaking pumped for it. Let me know your comments below. Remember, everyone has different opinions. Let's not try to be too rough on people here. And let's just have a good time. We're all here for the Warhammer, so let's be about it. Everybody, have a wonderful day. And I promise you won't see me again today. And you'll catch me again tomorrow for the High Elf Army Breakdown. Peace.